Yo, what's happening, guys? It's your boy Uncle P with another episode. With another episode. You know, wait, am I even able to say with another episode? Yo, it's your boy Uncle P with a new episode of BMF Combat Sport Talk Show. Yes, guys, you all saw that right. I'm sure everyone that follows me on social media. I apologize. Change of season. Notice that the name of the talk show have changed. I've changed the name of. I've done several talk shows with different names. But this time around, I actually have a really, really good reason why the name of the show had to change. And that's because I got banned from Twitter, permanently banned from Twitter. Not the Combat Sport page, my personal page, but because it was attached to my Combat Sport page, when that got permanently suspended or banned, the sports page got banned too. And yeah, I tried to do everything possible. I couldn't get it back. Then I tried to open up a new account and I got a whole bunch of warnings on why I couldn't open up a new account. This actual new account also got banned on the first day of some suspicious activity, for almost 13 hours. Eventually it got unbanned, and I'm trying to be very cautious and keep it purely combat sport and clean. So that's literally the reason why the name of the show had to change. So overnight, I came up with this logo. I hope you guys like it. Yeah, man, we've got an MMA cage, a guy punching, and then obviously the BMF logo, which is my clothing brand. Guys, give me a shout if you guys are looking for custom branding. If you guys want some BMF gears, I'm going to start advertising the BMF gear quite heavy at the end of the show, beginning of the show, during the show. So yeah, man, you guys saw the heading and the topic below. So let's go UFC France. Tuivasa versus Gane. Cyril Gane defeats Tuivasa via TKO in round number 3. Guys, that was a hell of a fight, man. I expected this fight to go this wild. My predictions was that Cyril Gane was going to win, but I was worried that Tuivasa might, land a punch and put Cyril into a lot of danger, which he did. But in the end of the day, Cyril Gane's movement and style was just very difficult for Tuivasa, and Tuivasa ended up winning. Now, guys, there's a couple of concerns that I have in this fight that I picked up that I feel like it's going to be Cyril Gane's biggest issue if he had to face Francis again. Although I personally think Cyril has a great opportunity of beating France because of the way he wins. Francis hard punching, hardly touched him on the first fight, barely touched him. It's the wrestling that helped. And I think it's going to be the same thing. The only difference is this time Cyril Gane might actually, we don't know how Francis will respond being on his back. And I think Cyril Gane will play a completely different fight if they ever had to meet again. But my concern is that Cyril Gane, for a heavyweight, he doesn't have much of a knockout punch. I mean, he tagged Tuivasa so many times with those right hands. Was it the left hand? Because I can't remember, he was fighting orthodox or southpaw. But he tagged Tuivasa so many times, and bro just ate it, unless Tuivasa is just really that tough. So I think this is quite interesting. Now, as you saw the heading below, we're talking not only UFC Paris, but we're talking what happens now in the heavyweight division. And I think this fight opens up a lot of opportunities for all of these fighters. One, Tuivasa, regardless of the fact that he did lose, I think this opens up a bunch of fights for him, which are probably going to end up being wins. And those wins are going to make him a lot of money and probably going to make him famous. But my fear for Ty is that he's going to end up in the same situation as Colby Covington, where he becomes the gatekeeper of the heavyweight. For anyone to get to the title, they got to go through him. Now, does that mean that I think Gane beats Jones if Jones becomes champion? Oh, that's going to be an interesting fight to see. But remember, guys, no matter what we say, in the end of the day, Francis is still the champion. And John Jones has not even made his heavyweight debut. So just talking about these fights drives me insane because I want it to happen so badly, especially this year. So there's possibilities of some great massive fights happening in the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division has opened up so massively with Cyril Gane and this big fight. And let's see, Francis says that he might be back early next year. This might be something great, something that we can actually work on. Or he might not be back in time and an interim title happen with Stipe. Right now, we know that Jones is ready. We're just waiting for Stipe. And if Stipe takes too long, there's a possibility of Cyril Gane versus John Jones. My issue is these are too big of a fight for them to be non-title fights. So if they make another interim fight, if Jones wins it, being an interim champion and fighting France's champion versus champion, that would be freaking amazing. If Cyril wins, we've seen this before. How does this now play out? I think it's going to be one of those situations where everybody's going to side up with Francis. And if the outcome does come out like that, how do you then make Jones versus Francis if Cyril beats Jones? Wow. Now, this is where I'm thinking. As much as Jones was the greatest heavyweight ever, and everybody knows I'm a Jones fan. Love Jones. I think Jones fights Ty. Simple. Jones comes back, fights Ty. I don't know if Ty's going to be ready in time. Jones comes back, fights Ty. If he beats Ty, he can either fight the former champion. Cyril Gane is a former champion too, regardless of whether it's interim. He can either fight Stipe or he can fight Cyril Gane for an interim title, that giving Francis enough time to obviously recover. The winner of that fight then fights Francis for unifying the belts. Simple as that. Done. Problem solved. But obviously we're not going to see Jones versus Ty. So probably Cyril Gane versus Jones or Jones versus Stipe. One of those is what we should be expecting. I think it's going to be freaking amazing. There's a lot of possibilities in the heavyweight division. It's freaking amazing to see. Middleweight, we have discussed middleweight, guys. We know there's a rematch coming up. Check out the podcast. I have spoken about the middleweight breakdown. And obviously, we got Israel Adesanya coming up. I've also broken that down. And I'm going to be shooting. You know, I don't want to do it. I don't even think it's necessary. Diaz versus Chimaev. Guys, I think Chimaev is going to brutally knock out Nate Diaz, if not even submit him. I'm hoping that this fight ends quickly via submission or via TKO and the referee stops it. Not too much damage, because if Chimaev decides to have fun, I think he hurts Nate really badly. But guys, this is combat sport. We've seen some scary stuff. We've seen things that we didn't think we were going to see. Do I think Nate shocks us? No. I'm sorry, guys. No, doesn't happen. Purely because I don't see Nate having the knockout power. And I don't see Nate out-grappling Chimaev. I just don't see it. I think Chimaev is going to be physically too strong. He's going to hit too hard. Nate will buckle. I don't see this fight leaving the first round. I don't think Chimaev wants it to leave the first round. And yeah, man. Guys, that's your UFC update. UFC Paris, Ty versus Gane, and obviously a little bit of sprinkles on top of that. I will see you guys on the next one when we discuss EFC. Obviously, the fight card is complete. The event is coming up, and we will discuss obviously the upcoming UFC also on the next show. Guys, let me know what you think about the new logo and the new name. I apologize that it was a sudden change, but I really love being on Twitter because I interact directly on Twitter. So guys, here's the link below. Come on, give me a shout on Twitter. Let's interact one-on-one. Opinions and everything on the comment below. I'm a bear and P.